Well, I don't know if we're supposed to end at 5, or excuse me, at 9, but we're 5 till 9. Yeah, 5 would have been nice, but none of us would have been here. Anyway, but I guess if there's any questions maybe, or anything like that, we got 5 minutes, 5 minutes, yes.
What do they like to eat over there?
Well, keep it simple, rice and chicken. Those are the two main things you find on the menu. Fish is also cheap because we have a lot of it right there. We're right in the Pacific Ocean. But you can actually find Filipino food here in Ohio. So if you want to try it, there's a restaurant over in Mansfield that just opened up last year. It's Cebuano food, and it is called Deja Food. And if you know Mansfield well, remember the old Fork and Fingers, that little Mexican restaurant over there, right downtown? I'm a food guy, so I know these places. But anyway, just Google it, Deja Food. You'll find it over there. You can find Filipino foods. Lumpia's there, but it's $9. Oh. Yeah, and I hope it's more than one piece. But yeah, save up your money and go visit Deja Food. Any other questions? They did not pay me to give that commercial. I've never been there, so don't blame me if it's not good. Yes?
This is actually not a question.
Okay.
But did you went to Ashland because the Lovelaces, we live in Ashland.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, I love Ashland.
Public service now.
Yes, for the
Are there any other missionaries where you're at there? Or?
in our area of our church plant? No. We're probably an hour from the nearest missionary that we know of anyway. And the nearest one is the one that we helped start the orphanage with. And so they've actually planted another church on the orphanage property. So it's they're still doing church planting.
So is that? I'm not trying to ask too many questions.
Yeah.
The city you're in, is it big enough to have several missionaries?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. To put it this way, the restaurants, so our McDonald's competitor is called Jollibee. Have you been to Jollibee? So look up Jollibee, Jollibee, Jollibee. And that's American fried chicken, spaghetti, burgers. It's a weird combination of American food and Filipino. And Jollibee, there's so many people, to put it this way, there's so many people, sometimes you'll find a Jollibee on one side of the street, another one on the other side of the street. But because there's a barrier in the middle, you can't cross over.
Okay.
They're serving millions of people on two sides of the street. So yeah, you'll find many pastors and churches there in Metro Manila. But the crazy thing is, I've never stolen anyone's member, and no one's ever stolen any of ours. There's no competition with churches. Yeah, there's plenty of people to reach.
Speaking of competition,
Yeah.
what are your greatest, who's your greatest cultic influence?
Yeah, I would say the Catholic, but that's kind of a given. Everybody there is Catholic, or they have Catholic roots. But it's called the Iglesia Ni Cristo, which in Spanish means church with no Christ, if you know Spanish, but this means Church of Christ in Filipino, and it's not the Church of Christ you know here. That's a whole different church. This is a cult church that teaches, one of the funniest things they teach is that their whole building during the rapture, not only the people, but the building will be raptured. And so they build aerodynamic structures with large speakers to prepare for liftoff. And the crazy thing is, they start the service, let's just say they start at 10 a.m. If you're not in the doors before 10 a.m., they lock the door. And you can't attend the service inside. But they believe that Jesus will rapture the church on a Sunday. And so if you're not in the boat kind of thing, or you're not in the ship, you're not going up. So you'll see people holding on to the church building who were late. They'll do that. They'll stand with their hand on the building so they can also go up. Can you imagine? Lots of crazy beliefs, but yeah.
They have a prosperity gospel.
Yes. The Pentecostals are rampant.
Do they still do the crucifixion thing?
They do, yeah. So the Catholics will do, the extreme Catholics, or the devoted as they say, some of them will portray the cross scene, and it's not just a random person that will do it, but you might see this where they'll nail themselves to a cross. That's kind of like someone who does that as a business. If you've seen that, that's a person's job every year. And they take the nails, literally, and they heal back from it and do it
Same
again.
guy?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
same
same
guy.
guy, like an
Wow.
actor. Yeah. I mean, he's not being hung by his hands, he stands on a platform, but he literally takes the nails. Yeah.
Still wouldn't want it.
Yep.
What's your greatest need, other than the visa, when you guys are back home?
Yeah.
What's your greatest need?
Needs right now, present needs, we do need a vehicle, and so pray about that. We're working through using a few vehicles right now. So just pray for wisdom on getting a good vehicle. We have one lined up and we need a second one, because anybody with 4 kids knows you need 2 vehicles, especially when we're traveling all over the place. So yeah, pray for a good second vehicle. We do have some leads on one, but that's a big need. In the Philippines, their biggest need as a church right now is a roof project, but I am happy to say that God has provided that need.
Amen.
And now it's just getting it started with me not there. So pray that they can get it done. Anyway, and of course, pray for the visa. Emotionally, spiritually, as a family, just pray for this transition, because missionary re-entry, as they call it, is never easy when you come back from the field. But doing it in a hurry, like we had to do it this time, it wasn't easy. And so just pray for everybody as we adjust and get planted back here, and that God will give lots of encouragement to them. So, and you guys have been so encouraging tonight, so thank you. Yeah.
Given all these other religious influences in the country, how receptive are the people to when you talk to them?
Yeah, everybody will listen to you, which is nice. It's a hospitality part of the culture. They will hear you. They will even, one of the most annoying things is they'll tell you, oh, I'll be at church on Sunday. They all tell you that, and they won't show up. So they're very receptive to the message, but whether or not they act on it's another thing. Generally, I'd say Filipinos are ripe for the gospel because they have that Catholic foundation. So they believe the Bible is the Word of God. They believe in the Trinity. So you don't have to argue about those things. They believe that Jesus is divine. They believe that, so there's no question with that. And so anyway, you have a good launch pad or starting point with sharing the gospel with Filipinos. And so usually it's just helping them understand what is the gospel. Because they might even think they know as a Catholic. They might think, oh, I know what it means to be saved, but when you talk about it, they don't. So yeah, so we've seen many, many Catholics come to Christ, and we've seen some of these cult members come to Christ as well. Once you start debunking their crazy beliefs, and that's not in the Bible, brother. So anyway, I've had fun. That's actually fun, debunking some of their beliefs in the Bible. But anyway, we're thankful for definitely all God's been doing. So anyway, it's 9:04. I think we'll wrap it up for now. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
30 seconds.